Emily Turner had always been the kind of person who planned everything down to the smallest detail. Her life was simple, structured, and calm. She had her morning coffee at 7, her evening walks at 6, and her quiet reading time before bed. Her husband, Michael, often teased her about her life by the clock habits, but he loved how grounded she was. Her sister, Sarah, was the complete opposite, spontaneous, emotional, and unpredictable. Growing up, their differences had made them inseparable, but, over time, those same differences created distance. They hadn't spoken much in the past 2 years, not since the argument over their late parents' house. So when Sarah suddenly showed up at Emily's front door one cool October evening, Emily froze. "Hey," Sarah said softly, clutching a small overnight bag. "Can we talk?" Emily hesitated. She could have easily said she was busy. But something in Sarah's eyes stopped her, that familiar mixture of fear and hope. "Come in," Emily finally said, stepping aside. The living room was warm and filled with the scent of cinnamon candles. Sarah sat on the couch while Emily poured tea. The silence stretched like a bridge neither wanted to cross. "I know this is unexpected," Sarah began, "but I need your help." Emily looked up slowly. "With what?" Sarah took a deep breath. "I'm trying to take care of Mom's old garden again. The one behind her house. But it's a mess, and I can't do it alone." Emily's chest tightened. That garden wasn't just a patch of soil, it was where their mother used to spend her afternoons, humming softly while pruning roses. It was where Emily learned patience and Sarah learned freedom. It was also where their biggest argument happened, the day Sarah accused Emily of trying to control everything, even their parents' memories. "I thought you wanted to sell the house," Emily said quietly. "I did," Sarah admitted. "But, when I went back there, it didn't feel right. I think I was angry, and I didn't know how to deal with losing them. I said a lot of things I shouldn't have." Emily looked at her sister. There was no anger in Sarah's voice, just regret. "I need your help to bring the garden back," Sarah said again, her voice trembling slightly. "It's the one thing that still feels like Mom." For a moment, Emily said nothing. Memories rushed back. The sound of their mother's laughter, the smell of freshly turned earth, the feeling of sunlight on her arms as she helped plant marigolds. She felt something shift inside her. "All right," Emily finally said. "Let's do it." Sarah's eyes widened in relief. Really. That weekend, they drove out to their childhood home. The house looked smaller now, older. The garden was overgrown, weeds climbing the fence, flowers wilted, soil dry. Emily stood still, taking it in. "It looks bad," Sarah said nervously. "It's not hopeless," Emily replied, rolling up her sleeves. For hours, they worked side by side, pulling weeds, turning soil, trimming branches. At first, the silence between them was heavy. But slowly, small conversations began, about the past, about life, about their parents. "You know," Sarah said after a while, "Mom always said you were the strong one." Emily laughed softly. "She said the same about you." They shared a look, the kind only sisters could understand. Over the next few weekends, working on the garden became their new ritual. Michael would stop by sometimes with lemonade, watching them with quiet pride. Even the neighbors began to wave when they saw the sisters working together again. One afternoon, as Emily arranged a patch of daisies, she found a small wooden box buried near the fence. Inside was a folded note written in their mother's handwriting. "If you're reading this, I hope you're together. Remember, flowers only bloom when tended by more than one heart." Tears filled both sisters' eyes. "She knew we'd fight," Sarah said, laughing through her tears. "She knew we'd fix it too," Emily replied. They decided to dedicate that corner of the garden to their mother, a small memorial surrounded by lilies and roses. By spring, the garden was thriving. The once dry soil was now alive with color. And more importantly, so was their relationship. Sarah began visiting Emily often. They cooked together, laughed again, and rediscovered the joy of being sisters. Emily realized how much she had missed that. The easy laughter, the shared stories, the unspoken understanding. One evening, as the two sat on the porch watching the sunset, Sarah turned to her. "Thank you," she said, "for giving me another chance." Emily smiled gently. "We both needed one." Months later, they hosted a small family gathering in the garden. Cousins, neighbors, and friends came. Music played softly, children ran through the flowers, and the air was filled with life. As Emily looked around, she thought about how everything had come full circle. Her sister's unexpected request had brought back not just the garden, but their family. When everyone left, Sarah stood beside her, holding a small photo of their parents smiling in that same spot years ago. Do you think they'd be proud of us? Sarah asked. I think they already are, Emily replied. They placed the photo on the garden table, surrounded by flowers, and stood together in silence as the wind gently moved through the leaves. It wasn't just a garden anymore, it was a living memory, a place of healing, a promise that no matter how far life took them apart, love would always bring them back together.